Bring It Ronin, Tales of the Samurai. The Thrawn's Fist Empire. Once upon a time, there was a clan known as Unit. It was created by Doctor Who and Minnick. Minnick and Doctor Who, known as the Queen Team on Hero Showdown, dominated Battlefront Heroes and Villains and Hero Showdown lobbies. Doc established himself as a core Heroes and Villains player through Unit. At the same time, there was a clan known as the Stream Team, run by Lord Shadowfox, and also someone called Gunner and Shockwave were also in his clan. Around the same time, which was December, January of 2018 going into 2019, the Stream Team split ways as Shadowfox abandoned them all. Unit also bit the dust as Minnick abandoned Doctor Who and Unit. The Stream Team and Unit, who were actually rivals with each other, they fought a few times on the battlefield. Shadowfox knew who Doctor Who was, and Doctor Who knew who Shadowfox was. There was kind of a little small rivalry. Shadowfox didn't like Doctor Who, and Doctor Who didn't like Shadowfox, for whatever their reasons may be. You could call them enemies, you could call them rival clans, whatever you want, but that's what it was. Though it shouldn't have had to be that, but that's what it was to Shadowfox, and that's what it was to the Doctor. Shockwave met Doctor Who through a stream, and they added each other, and they played. And Shockwave helped Doctor Who have a last run with Unit. And then Doc met Shadowfox, and Shadowfox met Doc as Shock introduced us. Shadowfox and Doc did not see eye to eye in that conversation, and they did not like each other. Shock and Doc created a clan known as Thrawn's Fist, which was merging what was left of the Stream Team and left of Unit together. The best of both worlds. Shock, Gunner, and Doc started the clan, and the clan popped off. Shadowstrike and Minnick both were offered to be a part of it. Minnick took the invitation, but didn't last long because she couldn't handle it working with the enemy. And Shadowfox never joined because he couldn't handle it. Thrawn's Fist went on to dominate lobby after lobby with a win streak. By the end of Thrawn's Fist's reign, they were 1,656 wins, 54 losses in total. That is a record I don't think anybody can beat in such a short time. Thrawn's Fist just beat the best of the best. Every Twitch streamer, every YouTuber, every known player, every clan there was at the time at the game, the best of the best, and a lot of the names Don't even remember who they are unless I look at the video titles. Every known player, team, clan, or group went up against Thrawn's Fist. And in the end, Thrawn's Fist beat them more than they beat Thrawn's Fist. Thrawn's Fist is one of the best clans on Heroes and Villains, if not the best clan, at the time it was going, when it was going. It had the best of talent when it came to Battlefront players. Shockwave, regarded as one of the best Battlefront players and my personal pick for best Battlefront player ever. I would have to say Shock is the best Battlefront player I have ever seen. Not only could he play Battlefront 1, but he could do Battlefront 2. He's passionate about Battlefront and Star Wars overall more than anyone I've ever known. That guy lived, slept, and breathed Battlefront and Star Wars. He had passion, he had care, and he had the faith into me to do whatever I wanted to do with the clan because he knew it would be a success. He trusted me that much, and can't thank him enough for that because it's why we had a lot of good success. Me and him created a masterpiece and magic. Gunner was an underrated talent that Shadow Fox didn't appreciate when Shadow Fox had him in his group. Gunner is a quality player. People like Shadow Strike, quality players, Labama Yang, X-Men, Hot Boy, all the unit people that I forget some of their names, and that kills me just saying that. Thrawn's Fist just was epic. All the Bring It volumes, all the clan tours, all the anniversary events. War of Attrition was created under it. Thrawn's Fist, just quality and excellence, the best of both worlds, if not the best of Battlefront 2 and Heroes. The galaxy truly needed Thrawn's Fist. It was the greatest clan that the Doctor has ever done. It really was. And the time that it came out all the way to its end, it made most of all of its time and had the most success. But through its success, there's a reason it's not around anymore. Tragedy, unfortunately, strikes. Through success comes power. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely. Knowledge is power. When you're a success, people gun for you. There's been many people. Johnny A.K., Dill Dog, Ailman, Miami Wonka, many clans, many groups. People gun for you. You get noticed, you get on top. People want a slice of that success. People target you. But also, the Doctor, who has a dark past that's been contained for, I'd say, since the Rock days, which is about 3 years at that point. That's a long time to contain something. With success comes power. With Doc's history with power, he becomes, just like his mentor, his true destiny of what he really is. But did it come out naturally, or was it a tragedy? Well, that's the story we're going to digest. It all started with a man called Reckless. Reckless. Team Elite was him and Doc's duo name, under Unit and Thrawn's Fist. Reckless was happy to play with Doc. He was a good friend. They were close. Not close, but they were close enough. Reckless, when he joined Thrawn's Fist, didn't talk to anybody. When Reckless is with Doc, he talks. When Reckless is with Thrawn's Fist, he didn't talk. This bothered the other Thrawn's Fist members, which is understandable, especially Shock, because he's also the other leader of the clan. Reckless also had another team of his own, a clan, which I allowed him to do on the side, which is something that I broke, because when it comes to Misfit tradition and the old school way, doing two clans is a no-no. The only time I ever made the exception of running a clan and letting somebody do two clans at once was Reckless, and clearly it was a mistake. Reckless cared more about his clan than he did Thrawn's Fist. You can't really blame Reckless. He wanted to carve his own path. He wanted to have his own success, his own name, his own stats, not just be a regular member in somebody else's clan, even if that is a success. You can't really disargue what he wants from himself. However, though he was allowed to do all this, he still didn't care enough to join us actively. He'd join maybe once every 2 weeks, wouldn't even talk, only play for 4 games, then leave. Very not active at all. Which nobody hassled him about. Nobody said a word. We allowed him to do this. Gunner was having some personal problems, and we needed to make a second co-leader. For me to make a co-leader, it needs to be a smart business decision. It needs to be someone that's loyal, someone that's there all the time, and someone that can do what needs to be done. And that choice came down to Shadow Strike, which was a smart choice at the time. Reckless got jealous. Reckless was pissed off. Reckless wanted it to be Reckless and not some Shadow Strike guy that's only been there for 4 weeks. Though I understand with his points, someone that's been there longer should be more in line for it. But Shadow Strike was there every day. Shadow Strike was loyal. He cared. He had passion. He was everything you want for a clan, and especially a co-leader, to even be a co-leader, if that mattered. Reckless was the farthest thing. Though he was there longer, if he was there actively, he would have been handpicked first. But unfortunately, Reckless cares more about his other clan and didn't care about the clan to even talk to them even when he was there. He was never going to be co-leader. But Reckless, he held a grudge and quit Thrawn's Fist. And then he stream sniped, and he beat us. And then we beat him. And then he left. And then we ran into him the next night. And then we beat him 3 in a row. And he talked major fucking shit. Major fucking shit. So Doc did what Doc does best. You want to talk shit? I'll talk shit back. Not only did I upload all 3 wins exposing Reckless for the crybaby that he is, that he wasn't co-leader, but also Doc said you're a bigger crybaby than your son, because his son's a baby at that time. And what do babies do? They cry. And what is Reckless doing? Crying because I didn't make him co-leader. Crying that he fucking lost and got destroyed. He rage quit because he wasn't co-leader. Rage quit out of the clan. Stream sniped me. Talked hella shit. And started a grudge and a vendetta. Stream sniping, let I remind you. Which is scummy. And started a war. And then he got mad and tried to flip it on me like I'm the bad guy because I apparently made fun of his son. I didn't make fun of his son. I said you're a bigger crybaby than your son because you are a crybaby. But I'm the bad guy to Reckless's story. But where did this lead to? This led to Reckless passing off the grudge to somebody else who was in those 3 matches where he got destroyed, which was Ailman. So it went from Reckless's grudge, because now that Reckless was beat, Doc's never playing Reckless again. That's 4-1. 4 wins that Thrawn's Fist and Doc have to Reckless's 1 win. Reckless has 4 losses and only 1 win. Reckless is done. He's an afterthought. He's in the trash, where he belongs, forgotten about, swept under the rug, never playing his gimpy trash ass again. But now Ailman's coming out for revenge. So now Ailman is stream sniping every day. On top of that, the Ailman grudge, he brought Miami Wonka, who was one of the most known fucking Battlefront Heroes players on the game. So his grudge turned into Miami's grudge, and Ailman then became an afterthought, an underthought. It's not even about Reckless anymore, and it's not even about Ailman anymore. It's about Miami. And what happened? The war continued. And by the end of it, the only way they could beat us was stream sniping, knowing who we were using, knowing where we were going in game. They had to cut corners and cheat the system just to beat us. They didn't beat us legit. And they always wanted a private custom game, and I never gave them a custom game. You want to know why? Because they don't deserve it. Because they're so fucking low and scummy that they had to stream snipe just to play us and beat us and to know where we are. They cut corners to win the game. They don't deserve a custom game, because to me, that's no honor. If they have no honor, I'm going to show you no honor. I'm not going to give in to your demands. You're the one that wants it with me, not the other way around. You don't deserve honor or respect of having a custom game, because you have to cheat the system to know where we are, to know which characters we're using, so that you could form out your character loadout and who you're playing to go up against our loadout, just to get the advantage to beat us. And then you know which side we're going watching the stream. That's called cheating the system. That's called cutting corners. That's not legit. And you know what the sad reality of it is? Thrawn's Fist and Doctor Who still, by the end of the war, won more games than y'all won games. And then you never got rematches again. In the end, Thrawn's Fist won the war. Doc won the war. The war that started with Reckless, that went to fucking Ailman that turned into Miami was all unnecessary. It hopped from one idiot to another, to another. That's stress. That's frustrating, especially when you built a clan for months, months of a grind building a clan. But not only that, but also you're recruiting. You're constantly bringing in new members to try out, to train, to get with the program and stuff, you know. There's a lot on Doc's plate. They built a foundation and a legacy, played constantly, went neck and neck with everyone in the community, recruited, tried people out, and do you know what Doc's fault was of all that? Was that he was doing everything himself. Yes. Even though there was 2 co-leaders and another leader, Doc still wanted to do everything else. Is it the smart choice? No. Do you know why it's not a smart choice? Is because the reason why you have co-leaders and another leader is for support and help. But that's just Doc. If you know Doc, you know the one thing he cares about is the clan. He's passionate for the clan. When you run a clan with Doc, or you follow clan, or if you're in a clan and Doc's running it, the one thing about Doc is he's passionate. He cares more than he should. He promotes it like it's the best thing that he cares about. And that's what it is. It gets a special treatment because to Doc it is special. And he wants to make it special for everybody involved. It's a fault. But it's also something good too, because Doc wants to make it perfect. Between the wars of everybody that Thrawn's Fist encountered, recruiting and trying people out, running a clan actively, but also Gunner. Gunner was going to leave. Gunner was going to leave because him and Shock weren't getting along, and Gunner was miserable. He didn't want to be there. And the reason why Thrawn's Fist Thrawn's Fist has it. Technically, there's 2 runs. There was a 2-week period that Thrawn's Fist didn't exist. Gunner's the reason it came back. Gunner's the reason it made Doc want to do it again. In Doc's eyes, he owed Gunner. And seeing Gunner miserable because him and Shock weren't getting along for whatever reason, Gunner wanted out. And I didn't want Gunner to leave. You know? I wanted everybody happy and doing it. And Gunner was going to leave. And that was a lot for me to handle. So I made a promise to Gunner that if Gunner left, if something happened with Shock and Gunner left, I would throw everything away and leave too. That's how important Gunner was to me, and that's how much Gunner meant to me for the clan. Gunner was one of the heart and souls of Thrawn's Fist. That kid meant a lot to me because I wanted him to have a better experience than the stream team, and that's what it was being. I wanted him to be showcased at a higher level than he was with the stream team, because Shadow Fox didn't elevate him the right way. He was just kind of a lackey to Shadow Fox. I wanted Gunner to be his own man. I wanted him to be elevated by being known for being as good as Gunner is. I didn't want Gunner going away. I didn't want a lot of the people going away. They're all the heart and soul of Thrawn's Fist. Everybody was Thrawn's Fist. Everybody. And they all deserved it. Thrawn's Fist was as good as it was because of everybody involved. And I didn't want to lose Gunner. I wanted to work out the issues, and they weren't going to get worked out. So between the Shock and Gunner issues, the recruiting, the wars, the grind, doing everything myself, it was a lot. It was stress. And it was stress piling up, and piling up and piling up and piling up, and it's a lot for me to handle because I'm doing everything myself. Everything. Shock was going on vacation. Shock was going on vacation for like a week. So, okay, whatever. Along that week, Doc, the old Doc, was starting to come out. All that stress piling up, little snaps here and there, little bursts of anger. Shades of his mentor, shades of that Doc that everyone didn't know, was starting to crack and come out. Unfortunately, one day and one match, Shadow Strike, who was the co-leader, for like a couple days leading up to that, was just kind of poking the bear a bit, starting to rebel against what Doc was doing, saying Doc should let people help. And he was poking the bear. You know, part of what he was saying was right. But also, he's not experienced enough like I was to know exactly how to run a clan successfully. I know what I'm doing because I do it well. If I wasn't doing it well, Thrawn's Fist wouldn't have been the success that it was. Unit wouldn't have been a success. Rock wouldn't have been a success. OTR wouldn't have been a success. Burn wouldn't have been a success. I was trained by Misfit, for fuck's sake. I know success. I was created to be the heir of Misfit. I was created to be what I was when it comes to clans. Handpicked. I know it better than most people that I've known in my time. And everybody who's ever been with me has benefited from letting me do what I do best. So, Shadow Strike poking the bear a bit. Well, let's just say Doc snapped and went off on Shadow Strike. And Doc enjoyed it. Doc really enjoyed it. Oh, he had a blast with it. The old him, the real him, the hiding him, the him that's been contained for 3 years, got a taste of it. And Doc missed it. Reality was Shadow Strike hit the breaking point, and Gunner was depressed and disappointed to see Doc in a different light. That's the one version of me I never wanted Gunner to see. But also Labama Yang and X-Men saw it, and they were asked to leave, so they didn't see the final act. But Gunner, I never wanted him to see that version of me, and he saw it. And I knew he would never look at me the same again. I sat there, and they were just trying to fix the situation, Gunner and Shadow Strike, trying to rewrite the wrongs before Shock could get back, so that we could all sweep it under the rug, pretend like it never happened, and move forward. I saw everything that I built for over 6 months come crumbling down. I failed Gunner. I failed Shock. Gunner's never going to look at me the same again. And they're sitting there, Shadow Strike and Gunner, trying to talk sense into me. And you know what? It went in one ear and out the other. Not that it's a disrespect to them. Not that I wasn't listening to them. It's nothing like that at all. I just saw my entire game life. The entire game life. The last 6 years flashed between my eyes. Being recruited by Misfit, the assassin Misfit war, control over me. Both my mentors wage war over each other, lose who they are, become these villains. Me go off, me become a success, me end up becoming like my mentor, losing my burned family and everybody, disappointing people, going through the LNF versus SAH war, dealing with that war, losing more people, having people turned against me, fighting a war for somebody, getting fucked over, losing myself and being consumed by what I was meant to be by my mentor when he trained me, destroying an entire Last of Us community, coming back from that, reinventing myself, becoming this known, respectable Battlefront 2 player on Heroes and Villains, carving a legacy for myself, literally having the best clan run I have ever had that even my mentors couldn't measure up to. And because of it, because of who I was trained by, this is fate. No matter what I do, no matter how much I try to hide it, or sweep it under the rug, or pretend like it's not me, I'm always gonna be drawn to becoming this villain because of my mentors, because I have their ways and their ideas and their concepts and their legacy inside me. They created me in their image, and I'm a villain. And I just said, I'm a villain. Gunner's never gonna look at me the same. I'm the villain. Shadow Strike can't stand me. I'm the villain. What's Shock gonna think about me when he hears about this? Oh, I'm the villain. What does X-Men think of me now after that outburst? I'm the villain. What does Labamayang think of me? I'm the villain. What does Reckless think about me? I'm the villain. I'm public enemy number one. I am a villain. It's who I was meant to be. It's what I am. It's destiny. And a light bulb flashed through my eyes, on top of my head. And I said, and by the end of it, when it was all said and done, Gunner was so upset, I think he was crying. And Shadow Strike said to me, I will never play with you again. And he left and quit the clan. That's one co-leader. And Gunner sitting there, stuttering words, probably crying, really upset. He ain't gonna look at me the same again. And he quit. He quit. And the heart and soul of Thrawn's fist is gone. I just lost two of the most active members in the clan. It's going to be hard to recruit now. This is a hit. A major hit. I had to keep that promise to Gunner. It's the one right thing I had to do. I had to keep that promise to Gunner. If he left, I have to leave. So that's what I did. I left Shock. I didn't want to leave Shock. I had to. I had to keep my promise. It's the only thing I had left is that one promise. But even if I stayed, would have Shock really stayed? Hearing what happened. I don't think he would have. I think he would have hated me. I think it would have went downhill. And then I think he would have left. So I did what I did. And there's no going back. And I became the thing that I truly was and what I'm destined to be, the villain. And over the next year, over the next 2 years, that villain thing transformed into the most despicable and vile run I have ever had, to the point where it ruined me. From doing it with Optimus, which we were a fucking nightmare, to me and Master, which was really, really bad. The villain thing consumed me, and I paid the price because of Mike. Mike got caught in the crosshairs, and I couldn't fix it. And Mike left, and it hit me hard, and it shattered me and wounded me for 19 months. 19 months I struggled. I lost everything. My reputation, my respect, my name status. Nobody liked me. Nobody had respect for me. Not a single person would care about me. But I came back with a punch after 19 months and reestablished my name, my stats, and everything, and nobody can tell me different. The true redemption story, the true comeback story for the past 2 years, it's been what it is. But I learned from my mistakes. I learned how to contain the villain thing a little bit better. The legacy of Team Nightmare is loss and tragedy. I wish its fate didn't happen. I wish Gunner never saw that. I wish that I could have fixed it, but I didn't. And it's been too long for anybody to care. And everybody's moved on, including myself, and that's fine. But you can't deny that Thrawn's fist was successful, and what we did, it mattered at the time that it mattered at the level that it was at. It truly was greatness, and it was the best clan I ever did, and it will always be remembered.